Hello, good morning, good evening, wherever you are listening in to the Vibe Online podcast with myself and Karen.
Hello.
Right, today, guys, we're going to be giving you a recap of 2023 as a whole year. It is episode 31. We are very, very almost at Christmas Day, which is very exciting. We hope that you are all ready and raring to go for this Christmas season. So, Karen, what a year it's been. What a year.
Wow. I know, right? I cannot believe 2023 is almost over already.
It's
And
gone so fast.
I know, and so much has happened. When we decided yesterday on the subject, I was like, what what are my highlights of 2023? Like so much has happened.
Yeah.
And it's like trying to think so far back. The year has gone so fast. So much has happened for both of us. And then it's like trying to retrace your steps and remember everything that has happened. Uh,
Mm.
and it's just like, God, you could literally like we could share so much between us, couldn't we? For everybody to be like, this happened, and go on a tangent like what we normally do. But obviously we are aware that you guys don't want to listen to us for too long rambling on about the year. But goodness, where to start with this one? So obviously my biggest highlight of 2023 was quitting the 9 to 5, right? That is like my
Oh,
ultimate
yes.
highlight of escaping the daily grind, having that somebody on my back all the time, having to ask for time off, the usual shit that we all deal with a corporate job or any kind of job that we have a boss. Now that was what, October. I gave my notice, obviously then worked a month or kind of, because obviously I was away in
Couple
San
of weeks.
Ivan as well. Um, so yeah, that I mean that really flew really, really quickly. And then all of a sudden here I am, full-time online business owner, running my own time, in charge of my days. And I don't think it's really hit me yet. I don't think it's really sunk in. I kind of still feel a bit like I'm just on leave. I'm
Yeah.
just on holidays. Uh yeah, it's really bizarre. I think come the new year, when everybody does start to go back to work, that's when it will really, really start to sink in. I mean, I'm loving obviously having my own time, owning my days, doing what I want. If I'm sick, touch wood, I never really get sick. But you know, it's even things like this that people have so much pressure on them all the time. It's like, oh my God, I'm so sick. I need to get into work and I need to do this. And but when the switch happens, it's like you get to do all this. You get to choose what
Mm.
to do. If I want to lie in bed and work on the laptop one day, I can do that if I'm not feeling 100%. Do you know, it's like if I want to take time off and go and spend time with my family, like the other day I went up to Salisbury to see my daughter and spent the whole day with her. And I was able to park the business for the day. It obviously runs in the background because of all the automation and stuff that we have set up. But I was like, this was a midweek day. It was Wednesday. Um, and I didn't have to ask anybody for time off. So, you know, that's a huge, 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 biggest highlight of my year so far. There has obviously been others that I will share, but what's your
Yeah.
highlight been, Meg?
Oh God, and I love this because we've been together on this journey from the very beginning, and to
We
see
have.
you grow and to see you leave that 9 to 5, which I know was, towards the end was really, really getting quite a lot for
Yeah.
you as well. And just to see that you're free with that and that you're able to spend any day that you like with your children, whatever works for her and for them as well. Because we just get so caught up with having to work, and work is always a priority. And now you've switched that on its head. It's like, no, actually, my kids are a priority, and my family's a priority, and this is how it works for me now. I get to, switch around my days to make it work. And yeah, I'm so pleased. We've been through this all before,
Yeah.
guys. Let's not get into it. Okay. For me, God, there's so many great highlights of 2023, and what I love about every year. I think we're going to do this once a year. It's such a nice thing to reflect back on the years. So I invite anyone that's listening to this to just have a sit down and think, okay, what has actually happened this year? What have I achieved? What's going to be changing for me in 2024 as well? So some of the biggest highlights, I think it was February that we were in Malaysia together.
That is one of mine as well. That was a phenomenal experience.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing.
That
So
just gives me goosebumps, even like thinking back to what we experienced over there. Like I could feel like my skin already. It was such an incredible emotional journey for all of
Yeah,
us.
it really was, and it was such a blessing to be able to be a part of that as well. I
Yeah.
think back on it and I'm like, how on earth did I end up in Malaysia with Gary Gann and his team speaking on stage in front of 300 people when we were both shaking like leaves,
Oh my
thinking, what
goodness.
on earth are we even going to talk about? What are we
Yeah.
going to say? How is it going to come across? We've got interpreters on stage trying to understand what we're saying as well. It was a really, really phenomenal time. So for the listeners, whoever doesn't know, Karen and I, we spent some time in Malaysia at the beginning of this year in February, which feels like a really long time ago, but also
Yeah.
not a long time ago. And we both spoke on stage, shared our stories with um, 300 or 400 people from Southeast Asia to share our stories and our journeys about the online space, because these guys have been working offline for many, 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 many years, and kind of using the internet and jumping online on social media and things is something so new to them. But it's something that we were able to share and then kind of combine our efforts, and also learn so much about them and what they're doing over there and the changes that they're making in the world. And I just remember bawling my eyes out in the back of Gary's car when he told me about Kangan for Children.
Oh my goodness.
And that was like a pivotal moment for me in
Yeah.
2023 to understand really the depth of what this business is doing for families, for people across the world, and how it's going to continue on throughout the years and throughout their lineages and throughout our children as well. Because
Yeah,
now
definitely.
that I see it on such a broader, brighter, bigger picture on where it's going, it just means even more. There's so many layers of depth to this business and what is possible for it, and it was just phenomenal. And we had an amazing tour all around
Oh,
Malaysia and the Cameron
yeah,
Highlands, and we was all of that good stuff. And I know that we're going to go out and see Gary again. um,
definitely.
and yeah, it was just amazing to be with him and his team and his family, and it's just a really huge highlight for me. Now, of course, I was doing some traveling at the time anyway. So that was obviously an incredible experience for me, because it's something that I never ever thought that I would ever get around to doing, especially living in Southeast Asia for 6 months. That was just like blowing my mind. I still can't believe that I was even
Wonderful.
there. And that was possible because I could just, pick up my laptop, pick up my business, take it with me, you know, support Michael and I while we were out there. That is just something that I never ever thought would ever be possible, but it was
It was
in,
amazing to see you guys live out there for so long and just embrace the whole journey, the whole culture, and just have that freedom. And just, it was the fact that you guys escaped the rat race of London. Like, you were out of the city, you were out of the hustle and bustle and just living life. And like you said, you're in a position where you can take your other business with
Mhm.
you and work remotely also. And you and Michael were just thriving. Like, obviously I love all your stories and all your social medias anyway, but to see that different energy coming from you guys out there and just watch you, I was like, oh, I was in awe of both of you for so long and
Mhm.
experiencing all the temples and everything. And yeah,
Yeah,
I suppose it's like a dream that you would never have thought possible if you hadn't stepped into, one, the online space, and two, running your own business alongside that to give you the time and location freedom completely.
yeah,
It's
absolutely,
amazing.
absolutely. And yesterday we was actually just kind of flicking through our socials and going back to that time as well, and when we went traveling, and just we were both watching ourselves, and it's like, wow, the difference was really real. But and for anyone listening to this and you go on this journey of growth and development, please look back on everything and recognize actually how much growth you have already within you, and looking back on those kind of things, because it's amazing to look back and be like, wow, we were so much more further developed than what you think of at the time. So that kind of reflection is really, really, really important, exactly why we're doing this podcast today, and it gave us a great reflection to look back on 2023 with our highlights.
Yeah,
This podcast started this year.
I know. Unbelievable to think in March this year we launched this podcast after we had spoke about it for a while, haven't we? We spoke about
Yeah.
obviously, as you said, we've been on this journey together from the very beginning. We've spoke about so much. And again, it's bringing it all into reality. It's like, okay, we're going to talk about it, but actually we need to start taking action and we need to start, you know, making
Get the
things
ball
happen.
rolling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
absolutely. And
And it was just like all of a sudden we did our first podcast and we were so nervous, weren't we? I remember doing it and oh my goodness. Even to think back, like the growth of what we've had now on this podcast, you know, and for those of you who are listening, we thank you so much for the support and all the feedback and, you know, the share of the podcast and everything and what we've had from people. It's been phenomenal support and really, really great feedback. So we really appreciate you guys. And, you know, we've had people start their businesses on the back of these podcasts and listening to me and Meg. And, you know, it's like grab a cup of coffee, grab a cup of tea, come and have a chat with us. You know, we will in the new year bring on more sort of guests and share lots more with you. But yeah, this has been a huge highlight to think now, like in uh is that 7 months we've done like 31 episodes of a podcast. It's just like wow. And that was even with a few weeks off where we were like so busy and we just couldn't get our schedules to kind of like work properly together. And also we have done a couple of podcasts where we have been together, which was amazing. You know, that's a huge highlight as well.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we've spent some time together over this past year as well, which
Yeah, which has
is
been phenomenal. Really
yeah.
great.
Yeah, and I shared with you the other day that I came across the first time that we actually met in person.
Oh my goodness, that was so nice to watch back. I remember that so much when I was at my brother's, and we actually didn't realize how close we were. Like we were literally an hour away, so we had to meet up. So I can't remember when that was actually. But yeah, that I mean that's a huge milestone and a highlight as well, isn't it? The first time that you go from working online and you're on Zoom calls all the time or you're doing social media lives or whatever, but to actually meet that person in real life and be like, oh my God, like you can actually feel them and squeeze them and like speak to them and like just experience that whole human connection, which is obviously what we're all about. Humans love human connection. So as much as we work online and you know we have all these connections and conversations every day with so many different people, to actually feel the energy when you're in the same room together is just incredible. And then when we did meet that day, I had a call with one of my team members who's now in my team. And yeah, it's just, gosh, to think it just had all the memories flooding back. And it was really
Oh,
nice. Yeah.
yeah, it is so nice because, like you say, you know, we build friendships online through through what seems bizarre and through a screen, and then you see
Yeah.
them in person. It's like it nothing changes. It just develops and gets so much stronger. You know, these and as you guys know, Karen and I, you know, we're inseparable when we're together.
Yeah.
So, you know, to meet someone that is like your double, you know,
Yeah.
we've got a lot of differences, but we're so similar in so many ways as well. And to meet someone like that through the online space and know that you're going to be friends forever,
Yeah.
and you know, taking this podcast until the end of the days is going to be. It's just a beautiful thing. It's a really beautiful thing. Let's chat really briefly about the amazing events that we've had this year as well.
Gosh, yeah.
One in particular is the one that yourself and Baz ran, which was the Ignite
Yeah.
Your Warrior weekend.
Gosh, what another massive highlight. That was, yeah, my first event that I've run with Baz, obviously my partner, for those of you that are listening that do know him. He is a Southwest Opportunist on Instagram. You will find him through my Instagram, obviously, and Meg's and Mike's, I'm sure. But yeah, for us to be able to put our own spin on the offline events was absolutely fantastic. And the fact that I was able to be there as a coach, mentor, leader of not just my team, but of the community.
Yep.
And it was not a business focused event, although there was what is it they say? There's rhyme to the reason. So, you know, some of the things that we were doing and pushing you guys through was stuff that we knew you could then take on and implement into the business.
Yeah.
Obviously, one of them, the biggest one, is being like sheer grit and determination just to make things happen. Um, Pushing you guys way outside your comfort zone. Even me, like so many times. And for those of you who are listening that don't know who Baz is and what he does, is he is my partner and he is in the military. He is a physical training instructor, but also crossed over to the adventure training side of things. So he delivers and teaches, gosh, a whole list of things to, well, coasteering. That was one of the biggest highlights that
Oh
we
my
did,
goodness me, yeah.
where we took people to a route down in Devon, and we got you guys kitted up. We brought in an external company. Keith, big shout out to you, Keith, if you are listening. Thank you so much for that. And we took you all and pushed you from going into the water was a huge fear for some people, to then climb up the rocks and jump into the water was just a life-changing experience for so many people. And people are still talking about that event now. And it was great, the fact that, you know, some of the team were on the rocks, absolutely frozen with fear, like literally could not move. But yet, between us, we managed to coach everybody through that. And I don't think there was not one person that didn't jump. And for them to then experience what they did after that was phenomenal.
Mm.
And then
And that's the thing, they chose to be there, they wanted to
yeah,
be there, they wanted to push past this, and it's exactly the same transferable skills, like you say, into the online space, into the business, because you're gonna feel shit scared at times. You know,
yeah,
whether you're starting out or whether you're in your journey, there's gonna be moments where you're gonna be like, I don't think I can do this.
yeah,
But you're there because you know you want to be, and you know what's on the other side is
yeah.
breaking through those fears, breaking through those limiting beliefs, and just accelerating in your entire life. And that's exactly what happened that weekend. It was breakthroughs.
Yeah, it was incredible. Between pushing you guys at 5 a.m. to do some fizz in the rain, you know, that's not nice. Nobody likes to do that. But once you finished it, you feel amazing. We had all the leadership tasks where you guys built like swings with next to nothing. We did the gorge walking experience. Unfortunately, poor Jenny's phone got lost that weekend because her bum
Yeah.
bag fell off her waist, but she got it back. Like even that, imagine a fisherman finding her phone a couple of weeks later, managed to get in touch with her and got it back. Like
Yeah.
that was
You wouldn't expect that to happen ever.
that completely blew my mind.
And it
But
worked.
I know it still works. So her waterproof case was great. Yeah,
Best
that
of
whole
days for that
weekend
one.
was just so amazing. Like, yeah, and we will be running more in hopefully 2024, although it's a busy year, and we will touch on that in the next podcast. But we are going to do more of these events. We are going to get the community together. We're going to push it out to the wider global community, and whoever wants to come, you know, we'll take these events as far as we possibly can, because they were so good. Yeah, I know we could go on about that one for a long time, couldn't we? But yeah, then we had our next highlight for me was when we went to Porto, actually, Meg. That
Yeah.
was that was pretty special because that was only open to specific people in the business.
Mhm.
And I felt very privileged to have,
To be a part of it.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
me
had
too.
space, and to be able to go and connect with other people from other communities that we hadn't met previously on any sort of online or offline meet, and just making new connections and hearing from the leaders of the business and
Mhm.
how simple they make it, whereas we're all guilty of overcomplicating things. And I think as you're running stuff and you're trying to live life and juggle everything and all this kind of stuff, really in reality it's such a simple process, and it's
Yeah.
reminding us of that. And the fact that, you know, we literally flew in and flew out, and we were there just for the event. It was such a mad rush, such a mental quick turnaround. uh,
Yeah. I think we learned our lesson from that though, haven't we? We've said
yeah,
that for future events, okay, we may be on, you know, our building mode still,
yeah,
but we need to see these areas and the locations that we get to go to these events on, because
yeah,
you know, I jumped to my stories yesterday and spoke about the one that's happening in February. And these events happen offline all the way through the year at all different locations all around the world, and we're invited to every single one of them, and
yeah,
you guys are as well. You know, when you have your business and you're in this, you are invited. Doesn't matter where you are within the business, starting out, a few years in, couple months in, whatever it is, you know, we're even going to have some events next year for people that haven't yet started their business. And so you can come along and feel the vibe and understand how it all works and what's going to happen there. But we've kind of learned that lesson now, haven't we?
Yeah.
That we actually want to enjoy our time as well
Yeah.
to go and see these places, because it really was a quick slapdash in there event and then back home.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, we haven't actually seen Porto at all. But
Yeah.
what I loved about that event as well is that it was within the Enagic office within Portugal.
It was.
So for people listening, we have a mix of events. Sometimes they're just within our community and we do kind of like activities and we go to these amazing places and we do kind of masterminds and things. Other ones are kind of more Enagic related, and we jump into their offices and meet the people that are, processing all of our sales and sending out our beautiful products and all of this kind of stuff, and kind of bringing everything together with our, commissions and things like that. And it's such a nice kind of context to see both sides of it
Yeah.
and to experience it and actually just be there with people and chat to people about what their experiences are. And that's what's so special about these events, is you
It's
get
great,
to do
isn't
that
it?
offline.
You literally meet so many people from all different walks of life that all just want the same thing, which is ultimate freedom, isn't it? That's it. I mean, when we were there, I was speaking to people as young as 21, which is the age of my daughter. Like, and these guys have built their business. They've come in. There was a young couple who are from Europe, and they're literally traveling in the van. What a life to give yourself at 21.
Yeah, wow.
Literally the best present you could ever give yourself is that slight investment into a business to give you that life to just go and be completely free.
For you, the entire rest of your life
Like,
and your children's life.
yeah,
And you've
yeah,
decided to do that
I
at
know.
21. And I mean, it doesn't matter what age you decide to do that. It's phenomenal at any age that you decide to do this and you decide to take this on and do this for yourself.
Yeah,
But yeah, to set yourself up that young
yeah.
is wow.
Literally
Like,
made for life. Like, that's them, they will be completely free. They have a business that comes with, as you say, it sets us up for life. It gives us the pension plan before you even have to stop working. Like, it's you don't just hit that age like you do in the corporate world where you're 67, you get your pension, you stop working, you do whatever, blah, blah. You're limited to like £1,000 or £2,000 a month if you're lucky for a pension. This one is a lot more than that. But ultimately we could hit that within the next 2 years.
yeah, exactly.
It's it's mind blowing. And then also I went to Vegas as well.
Oh
Huge
my God, I almost
highlight.
forgot about Vegas.
Huge
Woo!
highlight. Like that was incredible. Like to go and experience one, bloody hell, the heat was phenomenal. Like I wanted to go and do so much, but the heat was just, it was like 40 plus degrees, and even the locals were like, "You're crazy." Like most people live indoors in the sun in the height of summer. So yeah, I will go back to Vegas without a doubt and get the Grand Canyon and everything done, but not in summer. Absolutely not. But what an experience that was, to be in the room, to be in the event for 3 days, to get up and go to the gym in the morning and see so many other business owners in there and get to meet them and chat to them. And everybody has the same mindset. Everybody thrives on looking after yourself, health, wellness, fitness. And then you go and have these phenomenal conversations with people from all over the world. There was people from Australia, Southeast Asia, America, Canada, the UK, Europe, Germany. People were from everywhere. And then to be able to feel the energy in the room for those that have leveled up in business that year, and get an award, to have hundreds of people on the stage getting the recognition, support, and awards, and everybody is like so happy and rooting for them and like, woo! You do not get that in a normal workplace. Like
No, you
it just
don't.
doesn't happen. You get a promotion at work, yeah, here you go, a little bit more in your pay packet, let's get back to work, crack on. And it's just like the whole atmosphere. And then to hear the stories of people, I mean, the group that were there, the leaders that were there, the people that started it way back in the beginning, sharing their stories, where they came from. They were all offline. They're all now, coming onto the online space. But to hear how they started, and then their kids were also on stage and they are now running the exact same successful business, but not one person had money to start a business, which was so heartwarming to hear these stories of people have literally built their businesses up to become self-made millionaires with this business within a very short space of time because they saw, as we did and others do, the power of this business and what it can actually give you. And, you know,
Yeah.
people going from living on the streets, having no money, stealing food,
Living
people,
out of their cars.
yeah, dependent on alcohol, dependent on drugs because they've hit rock bottom in their life, but they've had this opportunity given to them and they've learned about it and they've listened and they've watched. It was the same as when we was in Malaysia, the very, very different um experiences that people have had and lived through, but they've all got that one similarity is they saw this business opportunity and they've invested in that. Now, there's some people out there that have this mentality of um life is never going to change for me. It is what it is. It's the cards I've been dealt with. I can't change it. But you can. You can
Mhm.
make a decision. It takes one decision. I wrote this in my social media post yesterday. It takes one decision to change your life. That one decision can be a call with somebody, me or Meg, anybody in the business that you connect with, that you have that relatable story with. Get on a call, ask some questions. You pay £77, you're learning then about your business and then it goes from there. You know, people, as we said, have come from nothing, living in cars, no money. They're now self-made millionaires, running their own communities in the same business. And it's just phenomenal to see. And the stories we heard in Malaysia where people were living in like houses with tin roofs that were falling down while their wives were
Mm.
pregnant, just about to give birth, and the rain's coming in and the electrics are exposed. And you just think, oh my goodness, those people, what they've gone through, we've all experienced some kind of, maybe not trauma is the right word for it, but we've all experienced hardships in life, right? Everybody has gone through something where you think, my life cannot get any worse. Like, seriously, like, just give me a sign for something to improve and something to get better. And then you hear all these stories, and it's just like, people believed in themselves that they could do it, and they did, and they have. And now they're everywhere helping the exact same people do the exact same thing with a ready-made business model for you. It's just like it still blows me away to think of all these stories and you know where you've come from and where I've come from and you know everybody else in the community, but ultimately everybody sees what this business can do, what it can bring, the life-changing skills and financial situation that it can give for you is just like we could go on and on and on about all these highlights and everything and it's just like I suppose it's like we've experienced that emotion, we've experienced
Yeah,
that feeling, you know, the goosebumps, the tears, the laughters, the high, the low, like everything comes with it. And God, you know, don't get me wrong, it's not all singing and dancing. Like we've had days where we have been like, I
oh boy,
can't do
yeah,
this anymore. It's so stressful. But I would give those days over and over again to be able to share with others and also show where we've come on our journeys,
totally,
to be able
totally.
to share the experiences that we've experienced and to share other people's experiences of what they've, I mean, people have been fighting cancer and, you know, been really, really sick. And then they found this business, they found the products, they found another way of living and they're absolutely thriving. You know, they're
Yeah,
cancer free, you know, even to have a business with a product that can help towards a healthier lifestyle is
yeah.
just absolutely incredible.
Mm. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We don't find this business finds us.
Yeah.
And I truly, honestly believe that. So if this opportunity is falling on your doorstep at a time when you're like, I need something and you're looking for a sign, and even if you're not, just believe and know that it's here for a reason. And there's a reason why you're listening to this podcast right now. There's a reason why you follow me and Karen. There's a reason why you've reached out to us or found our advertisements or whatever it might be. I truly believe there is a reason for everything. And everyone that comes into this opportunity and sees it for what it is, it's it's a revelation. I am so blessed and grateful that this is the business that I found. I didn't go through, the hardship of trying three, four, five, six, seven businesses before this. That didn't work. I was fortunate enough to find this business. And sometimes you take it for granted because you're like,
Yeah.
wow, I've got it so good, so good.
Yeah.
And to be able to share this, and it's exactly why we do it, is to empower other people to know that they can do it as well. And that's why we share all of the stories about what we experience and what other people are experiencing within this business and how they're being able to change their lives around. And like you said about Vegas, they've got their kids on stage with them, like
Oh
they're
God.
at events with them. It's such a family orientated business that's creating generational change and generational wealth for everyone involved. And it's so much more than just a business. Like you say,
Yeah.
we've got the products that are changing people's lives, in their health, in their family's health, in their children's health, and a compensation plan that is absolutely thriving and allowing people to live these incredible lives. You're getting paid a monthly salary within one sale. Like, you
Yeah.
don't see that anywhere else. You just will not see that. Yeah, so just the whole opportunity is phenomenal. So, I mean, I think we'll probably wrap it up here. What
Yeah,
do you
I know.
reckon?
As we say, we could go on and on and on with all the highs from 2023. It's just been a roller coaster of a ride.
It
Very
sure has.
exciting. And yeah, it's just been amazing to watch everybody else who's come into this, started their own business and grown as well. That's a highlight in itself.
Absolutely, it is. And we're giving you the highlights of 2023, and we can't wait to come at you next week with what's coming. And we're going to be sharing with you what's to come in 2024 for us, for you guys, and some of our highlights that we are looking forward to in 2024 for sure. And we'll be setting some goals. We'll be, chatting about what's to come. And we hope you guys will be there on the journey with us.
Yeah, it would be great to have you guys with us. Definitely. Well, we will wrap it there, as you said, Meg. It's been great to recap on bringing back all the memories from 2023. And if you guys want to have a nosy, they're pretty much all on our Instagram. You can go and see everything there. It would be amazing to put a video snippet together of the highlights, which we could maybe potentially do and
Yeah, for sure.
out as well, which would be amazing. So. Have a wonderful Christmas in 2 days' time. No matter when you're listening to this, we are going to have Christmas in 2 days' time. And enjoy the time with your loved ones. Don't take it for granted. Enjoy every moment. And if you are going back to work in the new year and you don't want to, or something inside you is wanting you to look for a different route, then feel free to reach out to me, Meg, or anybody within the community, and we will happily have a chat with you about how we can help you, what you're looking for. And also, we do have our links on our bios with our 15-minute webinar. So, that is free for you to watch as and when you have the time to do so. But have a wonderful festive season, and we will be back next week.
Yeah, see you later, guys.
Bye.